What are you called? Oh, sullied ones. Hey everybody, I'm Catherine and I'm here today with the Disney book tag. So admittedly, I was not tagged by anybody to do this, but I've seen it floating around the booktube for the last little while and I thought it would be a fun tag to do. So this tag was originally created by Kat over at Catty-tastic. I'll put her link down below to the direct video for it. And it is to celebrate both the release of the book and the ABC family movie The Descendants. So pretty awesome. Plus it's Disney. Who doesn't love Disney? So this tag has 10 questions, so let's get right to it. So the first Disney movie is The Little Mermaid, which is a character who is out of their element or a fish out of water, so to speak. For this one, I chose Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I mean, beauty queens stranded on an island with no access to a spa? Hello? Like, yeah, definitely fishes out of water. Next up is Cinderella, which is a character who goes through a major transformation. So for Cinderella, I chose Toads and Diamonds by Heather Tomlinson. Definitely a major transformation considering one of the main characters is suddenly spitting out toads and snakes whenever she talks, and the second sister is spitting out flowers and gemstones. Yeah, definitely a little change there. Third is Snow White, a book with an eclectic cast of characters. Try saying that one 5 times fast. For an eclectic cast of characters, I had to choose Dreams of God and Monsters by Laini Taylor. I mean, you got the Chimera, you got the Angels. What are they called? Whatever the hell the angels are called. I don't remember what they're called anymore. It's been a while since I read this. Regardless, you got Karoo and you got humans. So yeah, there's also like other different magical creatures that kind of come into play here. So definitely very eclectic. Fourth, we have Sleeping Beauty, which is a book that put you to sleep. For this, I chose Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. Now, before you yell at me, the reason I picked this is because I love this book. I have read it multiple times and I have it from Audible. So when I'm unable to get to sleep, I turn on the audiobook. And the narrator's voice is just so nice and soothing. And the story's awesome. And it takes me usually about 10 minutes then to finally fall asleep. So that is the reason it literally puts me to sleep. I mean, if I wanted to pick a book that put me to sleep out of sheer boredom, I would have chosen my psychology textbook. Number 5 is The Lion King, a character who had something traumatic happen to them in childhood. Now, for this one, I chose Anne from Anne of Green Gables. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, you can't really get much more traumatic. Both her parents died. She was forced into an orphanage. She was then basically forced into slavery to families with children and basically became an unpaid nanny. And was only risen out of her misery by her complete devotion to optimism and fairy tale living, and when eventually Marilla and Matthew rescued her, essentially. So yeah, she had a very traumatic childhood before Green Gables, if you stop and think about it. Number 6 is Beauty and the Beast, which is a beast of a book, a large book, that you were intimidated by, but found to be a completely beautiful story. I don't have my physical copy of this book. I'm pretty sure I left it at my mother's house along with a lot of my other classics. But the book I chose is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. This was a book that I did not want to read. I thought it was too big. I thought it was going to be too dull. There were a lot of reasons. I was also a lot younger at the time, I think like grade 8. But my dad basically forced me to read it because he said he had read it as a young boy and thought I would really enjoy it, and I am eternally grateful for him doing that. There are still times where I like randomly think of a scene from A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and I loved it. It was beautifully written, it was beautifully done, and it is definitely one of those classics that I think is going to just be relevant for all time. Number 7 is Aladdin, which is a character who gets their wish granted for better or worse. The book I chose for this one is The 100 by Cass Morgan. I only have my dust jacket right now. It's on loan out to a friend of mine who loved the TV show, and I told her she had to read the book. But, I mean, if you think about it, Clark and all the others, all they ever thought of was eventually going down to Earth, and then it happens. And it's not necessarily a good thing, although, I mean, kind of. It's one of those like, which is worse, potentially getting speared to death or dying from lack of oxygen. Number 8 is Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something that they are not. So the book I chose for this one was Scarlet by A.C. Goguen. I loved this book, and Scarlet is masquerading as a boy who is then also pretending to not be who she really is so that she can avoid people who are looking for her. Like, this girl is pretending to be many things that she's not. And eventually it catches up to her, and I need the other books. Originally, when this first came out, I interviewed A.C. Goguen and asked, oh, are there going to be more books? And she said no. So I'm very happy to have learned the opposite, and this is definitely one of the books that is going to be on my to-buy list in New York for the remaining books that are currently out in the series, because I need to know what happens next. Number 9 is Toy Story, a book with characters who you wish could come to life. So for those of you who know me on a personal level, I mean, this really should not come as a surprise whatsoever at all. No. The book that I chose for this one is Veronica Mars, The $1,000 Tan Line. I would love to be best friends with a real-life Veronica Mars. And if only one character had to come to life, and it was either Wallace or Logan, I'd take that too. Hell, I wouldn't even mind Mac, because there are so many things she could teach me about basic computer stuff and maybe get me editing software for free that's better than just the regular old iMovie. There are so many possibilities with this book. Hell, I'd even just want Dick. 'Cause yeah, yeah. And number 10 is Disney Descendants, your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character. So for this one, I went a little off the grid from what the norm would be. I couldn't really choose a good villain out of the books that I had. And I didn't want to be a cop-out and do like Harry Potter. So I chose a morally ambiguous character who I love to read. And that is Miss Chelsea Handler herself. This is her horizontal life book. I love all her other books. She is definitely morally corrupt, if not necessarily ambiguous. But she is awesome. I love all of her books. I love the humor. Yes, Chelsea Handler can be my spirit animal any day. And that's it for me for the Disney book tag. Oh, hi. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out any of my other videos. I have been quite proud of myself this month, and I have uploaded every single day so far, and I plan to continue doing it, so I have a video every day in May. And a lot are scheduled for the end of the month, so I think I'll make it. Comment down below what you think of my choices for the Disney book tag, and definitely if you want to go ahead and do this tag, I tag you. I tag anyone who wants to do this, because book tags can just be fun every so often. Maybe not all the time, but definitely once in a while. So until next time, guys, happy reading.